Alright, looks like we're back. Let's get it. We're going to finish these clouds up today. Just make sure that airbrush looks right. Alright. Feels a little harsh there. Scrawny, what's up, homie? How you living, dog? I think you're the first one on today, man. Alright. How you been, Johnny? Everything good? Just cleaning up, trying to knock these clouds out today. So if you guys didn't join me yesterday, we were working on making some clouds, so I didn't exactly have a chance to finish up, but we're pretty close. Really close, actually, today. We're just going to add a little bit of shadowing and stuff like that. Just got wrapped up. Nice, Johnny. What were you working on, man? Were you doing some customs or just chilling or what? Where I put that needle at? This needle should be good now. Cool. Yeah, this feels good. Just waiting for some people to jump on. I know I just kind of jumped on unexpectedly. I wanted to jump on earlier today, like 4 or 5, but I had the kids. So you know how that is. It's practically impossible for me to jump on when I got the kids, man. All right, y'all. So I'm going to just start to put things back to where they were. But let me show you guys where we're at first real quick. Always customs, man. I feel you on that. That's kind of like a day in my life, man, every day. So if you guys didn't join us yesterday, what I started to work on was just this heel collar here. And you guys can see that I started to make a progression of clouds. The clouds, they're looking pretty good. I feel like they're looking pretty good. I could see that the tape started to fall off of it a little bit, but you know, it's kind of what happens after a day or so. Tape starts to get a little weak, so before I even start to do anything, you know, just kind of secure back that tape again, get back to that original state that I was at. I did take off this bottom section here just so I can give you guys an idea of what the clouds look like at the end. So let me know what you guys think. Are these starting to look like clouds? You can see that when I was making the clouds, what I'm really trying to concentrate on here is a left to right kind of a flow. So they kind of match with the heel cut. They're going all left and right. And, you know, just normally you guys, if you look up at clouds, you'll see them in formations left to right, wider than they are taller usually. So we got a very, very tight space to work with. So when you got tight space to work with, it's kind of nice that we're doing a left to right motion here. So yeah, so I think now we got some people on. I want to say what's good to everybody. Welcome back. Shout out to Scrawny Johnny. Scrawny, you're the first one on today, buddy, or at least the first one that commented. My man Moises on YouTube is back in the building. What's good, Moises? The Dilab, Alan, what's good? Patreon family's in the building. He's on Twitch. So we got family coming on. Say what's up, man. Once you guys jump on, don't forget to say what's good. I'm going to just jump back into getting the clouds kind of formed in here. And again, yesterday I took off, you know, this piece. I try to take it off nice and slow, nice and careful. And if I get it in the right spot, I should be able to just put it right back on. So I don't know if I'm going to get it right back in the same spot, but we'll try. Let's see here. So I'm looking along, somewhere along that line. Oh, looks like we might actually get it. So let's go. I just took a little bit of caution when I peeled it off. And honestly, I wouldn't have even peeled it off right now. I would have just kept going with this flow, but I wanted to show you guys what the results looked like yesterday. So we're like right about here. And then we're just masking off. So pretty close. I might have, I'm not going to say I messed up on retaping it, but it's not perfect, that's for sure. It doesn't need to be perfect because we're just concentrating on little, like, minimal details today. And I think I've got enough skill set now to try to avoid these sections here, okay? So this is all set, ready to go. I do need a little bit of extra tape here. I could see that I didn't tape it perfect, so we're gonna get it at best as we can there, okay? The clouds are on point. Thank you, man. That makes me feel a little bit more confident. When I jump into the kind of the stuff, it's, you know, it could be a hit or a miss, and when you're doing it live, it's definitely a little bit more stressful when you do it live. You feel me? So this guy here, oh, here's the other portion of it. Sick. All right, cool. So maybe was this? Oh yeah, this was here covering. So we're just covering that section up. Cool. So I didn't remember exactly where everything went, but I think we're at a pretty good place here. There we go. So even though I don't need to cover it, I might as well. So I've got that piece there. Fees G in the building. What's good, homie? Fees G's over on YouTube as well. Moises over on YouTube. If you guys are there, say what's up. Say where you guys are at. All right, now let's see this one. Hopefully this will go too. I did notice that this looks a little funny, but let's try it. Let's see how it comes back into place, or if it doesn't. Yeah, I think this one is not going to come into place. So I'll put this one to the side. All right, you might as well just tear it and make it into what we need to make it. It's going to be there. And again, I'd rather work with that blue masking tape here, just because it was taking off this UNC colorway last time when I put on masking tape that was a little too sticky. But you know, we're going to have this on for a very minimal amount of time. So hopefully it won't do that. If it does, you know, I've got some fixing to do. I'm fixing to fix it up. Alright, this is certainly not my best tape job, that's for sure, but you know, just knowing that we're going to try to knock this small portion out, it doesn't need to be perfect. There we go. Grab a little bit more tape to get that back in, and we will let's get some clouds going. Today I'm going to concentrate on, again, putting a little bit more emphasis into the clouds. Right now they are, obviously they're white, and what I want to do is just add a little bit of dimension to them. And what I mean by that is we're going to add a little bit of shadowing, adding a little bit of light gray or mist. I'm not even sure myself which one is the best option. So we could always just start with one, and if it looks either too dark or too light, then we can move on to the other option, okay? I'm going to be using airbrush today just like I used yesterday. You can do this with a paintbrush as well. A little bit more challenging, I'd say, because with a paintbrush you don't get such soft lines and edges and stuff as you can with with an airbrush. All right, I think that's good. I mean, that's good enough. And then if I gotta fix stuff, I gotta fix stuff, right? So, all right, y'all. Again, we are streaming live on YouTube. We're streaming live on Twitch, and we're also on where's the other spot at? Facebook. So let me get one of these guys moved out of the way. Again, I like to work on one at a time, just because it gives me a little bit more. It's a little bit more focus, right? I could feel like I'm getting it done right, but this is where we're at with the clouds. My goal today, guys, is to just add shadowing kind of underneath the white shapes. And so if you ever look at pictures of clouds, you'll generally see that they're not just one color. They'll be one color and then fading off into other colors. Today I'm going to work with, let's start with the mist. I don't know, maybe we'll start with the light gray. Let's see. So that's what light gray looks like compared to the white. So it's definitely different. and this is the mist. All right, so either way I go, I mean, if it looks too dark or light, I can always change up. All right, so just for sake of being safe, I'm gonna go with the mist. The mist is the lighter version of the two, and I'm just gonna add a little bit in here. Starting to run out of mist, guys, and you can see how it's coming out real kind of thick. Y'all see that thickness to that? So usually when it comes out thick like that, it's a better idea to add just a little bit of too thin, because it generally will have some difficulty coming out of the airbrush if it's too thick. The nozzle tip here is only a 0.35 on my airbrush, which is relatively small compared to some of the other nozzle tips that are out. And so if you have a thin, small nozzle tip and you've got thick paint, then what'll happen is the paint's too thick to come out. All right, so now you guys see I just added a little bit of too thin in there. I would say I probably added about 2-3 drops, maybe 4 drops. And really what I want to do is get this guy to break apart a little bit, be a little bit more fluid. Just using a little coffee stirrer here to stir that up. And let's see if that worked out a little bit. Sick. So you can see how it's coming out. You'll see that? That's mist right there. Okay. So let's get this guy set up where I can airbrush it and you guys can have a good view as well. All right. So again, if you guys are out there, say what's up. This is part 2, and hopefully this should be the final of how to create clouds today. If you guys missed the stream yesterday, don't worry, we've got it recorded on YouTube /FeelGoodThreads, so you can always jump back in and review that, and so you can see where we're at in the beginning. Okay, let me see what I can do. I think we added Jeff's. You know what? Maybe I might not. Maybe I will. Let's see if we add Jeff's little easel here, which I found. And maybe I can hitch it up at more of an aerial view here. Something along there. Can you guys see that okay if I have it about right there? I think that looks okay. Let me get some feedback from you guys. Are you guys okay seeing it like right at that point? And I know this is going to be a little ghetto, but I'm putting something underneath it just to have it hitched up right. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be as high as I can get it where I can angle it and you guys can still see what I'm doing. Alright, so airbrush is good to go. Always check the tip to make sure that there's no extra paint or anything on there. And let's just start diving into, let's start from the center here and just add a little bit of contrast here. Add a little bit of shadow. All I'll be doing is adding it underneath, guys, all right? So as I do it, it won't be all the way through. I'll just do little spurts of it, and I'll be trailing along the cloud. Trying to keep it really close and tight because then that way it's not like spraying all over the place, and at the same time I'm trying to keep this tip clean here. So let me show you guys. Needs more green clouds? Green clouds, bro. What you talking about, man? I never seen no green clouds. Rupsy Banks in the building. What's good, Rupsy? How you living, man? All right, so now I'm seeing that there's some kind of clogging going on because you could see there's bubbles in the airbrush here. And usually that's because the front end here has got some kind of, you know, either paint stuck in there or there's something stuck in that little section there. So you could see why that's going on. Now, here you can see that I started to add just a little bit of dimension into the clouds there. Can you guys see that okay? And again, they're all just underneath the clouds. It's almost like we're just adding a shadow today. Okay, I overdid it over here a little bit, so I'm gonna have to go back in and fix that. It's just part of the process. But really, I'm trying to see how the paint lays out. And so sometimes it comes out really quickly. If it comes out quickly, then I might have to redo that section. And it's just part of the process, you know? Now I'm glad I didn't start with that light gray because I think the light gray would have been too dark. Oh man, so what's going on? So Speed Infusion, did I do something wrong there? It says we need to set up the stream notifications not working. I'm not sure exactly what I did wrong, but I just changed the title and then I hit start streaming. So I don't know if there's anything else I need to do. But at this point, I gotta just keep going. I tried to call you, bro. But it went straight to your voicemail. But I do know there's certain things after after we stopped streaming that there's definitely some things that are going on. I think we're also missing like there used to be the bar on the bottom that showed like all the different all the different streams and or all the different donators. We're missing that for sure. But yeah, we gotta definitely Speed Infusion look back and see what's missing and what's not. So I've got a small fix there. It looks a little it looks like a cloudy day when it's too gray, you know what I mean? All right, so I think really that's all I'm gonna do here. And once I'm done with this, I'm probably gonna add white back onto it. So that's good for that one. You know, I don't want to add too much gray because you start adding too much gray, then it looks like it's a cloudy day, but not cloudy as in like nice clouds. I'm talking about it looks like it's gonna rain kind of a day. We don't want that. Cool. Let me knock that other one out so I can show you guys again. So let's show you guys the difference between here. Y'all see that right there? Sin Zinc, what's good, homie? How you living? And this is, man, we gotta, another thing we gotta adjust to Speed Infusion is this is way too close, man. Can't show these people anything because it's too close. So you guys could see now This is the clouds here with a little bit of shadowing underneath it. Maybe a little too much shadowing, so I'll go back. And then this is the clouds just without any clouds shadow at all. So let's jump into that next. I'll put this guy to the side now. And maybe I could just work like this so you guys can see. All right. Airbrush definitely having some issues today. Sheesh, man, this airbrush is giving me issues today, man. Hey, man, everything's good, Sinzinc. I appreciate it, man. And slowly but surely, we're going to get these done. Hopefully faster than slowly, though. I got a timeline. All right, I'm checking the airbrush. Every once in a while, it gets clogged. And when it gets clogged, it affects the artwork, you know? Okay, now it feels good. So I'm going to just jump back in. Again, I'm not working on making the shadows through the whole cloud, just in little bits and pieces. Alright, so that feels and looks good. This little section here. Alright, so it was so quick to do that. So let me knock out the rest of this now. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this paint. And what I'll do now is I'm going to just jump back in with a little bit of white, just to bring a little bit of brightness back into the clouds. A lot of times you'll see that working with clouds, working and making tie-dye print, gradients, anything that has to do with like fades, you might have to topple paints on top of one another until you get the desired look that you want. So don't be afraid to just dive in sometimes and put in the work, and then if it doesn't look right, that's when you can always topple other colors to try to get that look that you need. The good thing for me is that's how clouds are naturally. They're just topple on top of one another. So now I'm just cleaning this airbrush out here. Put a little bit of acetone in there just to clean it out. There we go, it's all cleaned out. Looks and feels good there. Let's go ahead and clean this off. This thing is clutch for cleaning airbrushes, man. Alright, cool. And let's just go ahead and clean the inside cup real quick. Doesn't need to be perfect, but I do want it to be like nice and white. So whenever you're doing a white, you know, you just want to spend a little bit of time to clean this guy out. Make sure it's relatively clean at least. Especially if you got a dark color in there, then you got to make sure it's completely cleaned out. Alright, so that should do it. Add a little bit more airbrush fluid there just to clean out if anything that's in the front there. Sick. Cool. We should be good there. Yo, want to give a quick shout out to Webbs. Webbs Custom Kicks in the building, guys. How you doing, Quan? Another Patreon fan, man. Also, he's the top donator out of the group, man. I really appreciate you, homie. Always a pleasure to see you here, bro. He says, I'm in a hotel room right now in Georgia working on the same shoe? Crazy. What a coincidence, man. What are you doing to the shoe? He's like, I'm making clouds on the heel cups. That would be a really crazy circumstance, bro. We're working on the same shoe and doing the same stuff. I like to spread out a little bit of the paint right in the beginning just to get that gray out. And now I'm going to go over the white section a little bit. It's one of those days, huh? Well, I'm glad we woke up today and we didn't have any looting and rioting. That would have been definitely a different kind of a day, man. What I'm doing here now, guys, is I'm adding the white in, but I'm trying to add emphasis in just certain spots. So you're not going to see me run through the whole cloud and make it all white. I just want to get like little sections of it that look like they're standing out a little bit more than other spots, okay? Let me bring that up so you guys can have a little bit better of a view. Again, I hit this little white spot here. I hit a little bit more emphasis on the white spots here. So that's when you guys will see that the clouds look like they're fading in and out of the blue sky, is when you start to add a little bit more dimension to it. I've added that mist, so it gives a little bit of a darker shadow. And now I'm adding the whites to get more highlights and bring some vibrancy to the clouds, all right? As I run through, this shouldn't be too long. It should be pretty quick, but you want to make sure you're keeping a balance of blues and whites, and you can actually see the clouds throughout the whole process. And so, you know, again, that'll be a back and forth. So if I need to add a little bit of blue, I'll do that as well. You'll see that it's just really just playing with the colors, you know, and trying to get that right balance of everything. Let's see, so maybe like right there so you guys could see that. Hopefully that'll be an okay angle for you guys there. So I'm going to try to hit this top section of the cloud with a little bit of white. Ooh, that was a little hard. It just pumped out at the end. Same thing, I'm going to add a little bit more white in this section here. I noticed that I overdid it with the mist there, so I'm going to bring back the white. Are we getting there, guys? Let me know what you guys think. Are we getting to that spot? Oh man, that's crazy. You're doing more Colossal shoes, bro? My guy Webb's Custom Kicks has got a big contract with a company called Colossal. And apparently they got money, man, if you're driving a McLaren. Sneaky Reeky, great question, man. I think, I'm not sure if you just saw, but I did actually use that Too Thin, which I have right here. And by the way, I used it with this little squeeze bottle, which is way better than pouring it out. I used that for the mist. And I used that for the mist because if you saw how it poured out, it was super thick. When I pour it out this white, it seems to be pretty fluid, so I don't have to necessarily use it. But sometimes when the airbrush keeps getting stuck, that might be an indicator that that paint is a little too thick. Another thing you can do is, see, like it's not even pouring out when I'm doing this. And so you can tell, like, I should probably use a little bit of Too Thin. So if you see me struggling and the paint's not coming out, it's because there's not enough Too Thin to thin this paint out to go through the actual nozzle tip there. Usually it comes out though okay. So I just kind of test it out. If it feels like it's struggling, I'll add a little bit of Too Thin. I don't like to add too much Too Thin though, because what happens a lot of the times is when you add that Too Thin, you're watering down all the pigments in the paint. And what that does is, if you need to add white, or if you want to make a color really saturated, it's going to take a lot more layers because you've watered down the paint. It's just like, for example, if you had Kool-Aid and it tastes perfect, but then you add another 2 cups of water to it, well, it's not going to be sweet anymore, right? It's going to taste completely different. Same thing with the airbrush. If you add too much Too Thin and you water down the paint, it's going to still spread, but it's going to take you coat after coat after coat to get that spread to be nice and thick and consistent. So if I can get away without using the Too Thin, I absolutely do. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty much set with this one here. I might just add a little bit of white here in the bottom. The shadowing that I'm adding with this mist, I like to have it be very light. Like it should just basically be on the bottom end of the cloud and not any more than that. Otherwise the clouds look like super dark. So I think I'm pretty much done with this one, guys. Let me show you guys a little bit of a close-up there. Moises, they don't sell the Too Thin in a squeeze bottle that I've seen. And so then I had to, and actually we talked about this yesterday, is I'm trying to find these little caps here. These are little squeeze caps. The only thing is I don't know what size the diameter is of these guys here. So if anybody uses these squeeze caps, or if you guys could fill us in, man, please let us know. All right, so before I take this off, I'm going to just finalize a couple of little spots. The naturalness of the clouds, right? They don't have an exact direction. They just kind of flow with the wind. They look lofty. They look like you could sleep on a cloud, right? The white also has a tendency of drying really fast on the tip here. Alright, y'all, let me go ahead and take this one off and show you guys the end result there. I'm fairly happy with it, man. I feel like it looks like legitimate clouds, so that's always a plus. There you go. And let's take this top section off here too. Let's see how I did on my sock liner there. Huh, not bad for being taping up live, huh? What y'all think? Does that look like clouds to you? So I got one more to go. So let me go ahead and put this one down. Yo, thank you so much, Recon J. Appreciate that, homie. I like doing clouds, man. It gives me almost like a piece. Oops. Printed something out on accident there. Sorry. It gives me almost like a sense of peace and sanctity when I paint, you know, and painting clouds is definitely one of those things. I could see that I messed up on this tape job on this one a little bit, but it's okay. When I take it off, we'll fix it off. But here now I've got, y'all could see that the mist, let me show you, that's the mist. See that mist there? The mist hit a little hard. It's very harsh. The mist hit hard here. I don't even have to look at the shoe. I could see it from the camera angles. The mist hit hard here, see? So I've got to go back in and just blend all of these little pieces in. So let's go ahead and jump into that next. Usually I like to have it held steady, but I'm going to just hold it like this so y'all could see okay. Let's see, man, this tip is drying a lot today. Alright, cool. Starting to come back. There we go. And that's why I like to go in interchange and go back and forth. So, you know, if I did mess up, it's not a big deal because we're going to be blending the mist and the white back together anyways. Now I'm just looking to highlight a couple of spots on the clouds. And how you do that is just kind of concentrate on one little section. So this one looks pretty bad. I want to make sure that you guys can see me fixing this. I'm not going to call it an error because the mist came out a little harsh. You know, you could see there's a spot there, there's a spot there. So when I look at those spots, you really want to concentrate on those little spots right above it. See, now that those spots now become more of just an looks like an undershadow of the clouds. All right. Yo, thank you, Repsy. I appreciate it, man. Again, it is always stressful when I'm jumping on and just trying to get something done live, and I'm not exactly sure. I don't really have a game plan half the time. Probably more than half the time. I'm just kind of doing what I do, you know? But, you know, to be honest with you guys, a trial and error is really the best thing you can do to get, you know, different looks like this. Probably not the best thing to do it live, but you know, at least we're getting there and we're making progress. I'll tell you, I've gotten more confident in airbrushing since when I first started, so that helps too. You guys can see one way or another that the clouds are slowly connecting with one another, or they're next to one another. One version or another, they're either touching or they're pretty close to touching, but they're in that same vicinity. You can see that the clouds are pretty balanced. Like there's blues and there's whites, but you can kind of decipher where the sky is versus the clouds as well. So that's kind of important in noting that, you know, I do now like to go back with the last color, which is like a light blue, and we're going to just spread a little bit of emphasis on, you know, spots that might need a little bit more blue here and there. So Rupsy Banks, yeah, it's a great comment, man. He said it's good to see live. It lets other artists know that they're not alone. Yeah, man, this is kind of why I've been doing it, Rupsy. You know, when I first started, there was nobody who was showing you how to do anything, and you just had to figure things out yourself. So, you know, to be in the position that I'm at, and, you know, just blessed to help people out is awesome. Heck, when I started, nobody wanted to show you how to do nothing. It was all for themselves. But I think there's enough money to go around for everybody. You know, this is if you work hard, you don't have to worry about competition. Again, guys, I use a lot of coming off of the edge, meaning I'll shoot it here and just take some of the overspray, and that'll help look a little bit nicer on the effect. So for example, let's just shoot a little bit here. And that'll start to build just the cloud in smaller sections. Now, I haven't spoken to you guys about this yet, but here's another quick tip that I like to do, and it's real simple when you want to make cloud-like structures and you want to hide things like the blue. So I can always just kind of put, you know, a crumpled up napkin, for example. That's actually a great look for a cloud because, you know, again, this crumpled up napkin just has all kinds of random shapes and stuff. You don't want to put it directly on there and press it, because what that'll do is start to develop like really hard lines. You want to kind of keep it off of there. And so if you want to get like a spot here to become a little bit more white, but you don't want to affect the things around it, you cover it. So that's just, an example of what I do to, change up like little shapes and give it a little bit more of a sporadic look. All right. So I think we're pretty much done here. What I'm going to do next is we're going to just finalize this up. And we're going to add a little bit of blue. So I probably should have done that with the other shoe as well, but it's all good. If I see that we can add a little bit here and there, we'll do that. Just go ahead and clean this guy out real quick. Hey man, Recon, I feel you on that, dude. Exactly what you said. Recon J Customs, man, he got a great point, but I don't think a lot of people feel like that. You know what I mean? Like I compare it to like the NBA, for example. Like there's going to be a LeBron, there'll be a Russ, there's going to be a James Harden. There's going to be so many, amazing players. You cannot knock them for their skill level or say one person's better than the other, right? Everybody's got their own style. Like I ain't never seen anybody with a step back jumper like James Harden. That's his style, that's his vibe. But unfortunately, people are very competitive at nature, so not exactly a bad thing, right? All right, y'all. So this is just kind of clearing out here. Dope. It's all cleared out. And again, I'm using a little bit slightly of a darker color from white. I mean, everything's pretty much darker than white, right? So I don't have to clear the airbrush out completely. I believe yesterday I used pale blue, so that's what I'm going to use pale blue again. Hey, Johnny, what's up, man? I know we were talking about that earlier today. I think we DM'd each other about the LeBrons. That's a great question, man. I use 3M 400 Grit Wet Sandpaper, and you can find that at your local hardware store. Usually I get the gray kind. See this one right here? This is the gray version of it here. And you can apply that. See, it says dries sand between primers, sealers, and clear coats. So you can actually use this in multiple different stages. This one is by Gator, but I think 3M is the one that I generally use. I don't know why. Maybe I couldn't find 3M that day. But if you go to Home Depot or Lowe's, you'll be able to find that easy. All right, just dropping a couple of drops in here. I don't want to waste too much. Yeah, no, for sure, Johnny. I agree with you on that, man. It can be a regional thing. Look at Webb's Custom Kicks right now, man. He's out in Georgia doing his thing. We should be able to support one another when we see that kind of stuff going on. All right, I'm gonna tilt this a little bit so y'all could see this. Okay? How did I do this last time? Did I put this? Yeah, I think I used Jeff's thing and then I put something underneath that, or I'd be coming up with some Mickey Mouse strategies here, but. They have a tendency to work, so. This way? I think I had it this way. Cool. I think I'll just double check and see if it's better to go this way. Maybe we'll get a little bit higher of an angle. Oh yeah, that's definitely better. Okay, cool. So guys, give me a quick sec. I gotta grab a quick bite just to break my fast. I think I'm definitely over. Yes. Definitely over. So give me a quick sec, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Just gonna grab this cookie real quick and eat some food. I've been fasting all day. Let me just make sure that everyone's questions are answered real quick. Dilab said, "What's good? Cool. Where can I get 400 grit sandpaper for shiny plastic?" Okay. Also thinking about getting some GAC 200. Yeah, if you need help with the GAC 200 and GAC 900, Johnny, just hit me up, bro. I've got links for that as well. I'd link you up right here. It's just I don't have the link directly with me. You know what I mean? So give me a quick sec, guys. I gotta just take a bite of this. Starving, yo. It's been a long day. At least it wasn't hot today, which was a nice thing. Alright, so I think we're good there. Alright guys, hitting this with the blue, okay? I'm not going to try to get the blue to go through the whole section. Just kind of like sporadic little sections wherever I could hit it. That way it'll give that cloudy-like effect as well, okay? So for example, like right here, I see that there's a lot of white. I'm going to try to separate the white and try to get in just a crack of blue right there. There we go. So I'm not trying to drown the mist out completely, but I do want to have the mist be a little faded, just because it looks a little too gray on my end. Sick. It's coming out looking really nice. I'm not just saying that because I'm doing it either, right? I could see the actual clouds, which is kind of cool. I'll see the separation. This is why you need that blue right at the end, because we're spraying white, we're spraying mist. You start to lose that nice blue saturated look that we had. And so I'm just trying to reintroduce it back in. It doesn't need to be in all the spots, but I do like see if there's any dull spots. This is the time to put them back in. Here's another like kind of dull looking spot here. I could see that there's an overspray of white. So let me just go ahead and hit that little section up. And this is why it really helps out to, you know, hit kind of on here on the bottom, because if you just want a light layer of blue, then that overspray will do that job. It'll do the trick. Feel like we're pretty much done. I could have done this yesterday and finished it up, but I wanted you guys to see like what the actual result looks like at the end, you know? Just trying to individualize the clouds a little bit here. Give them their own identity. Whew, okay. Let me know what you guys think. Is that looking cloud-like here? Let's peel off. Let's see if we got a clean look here. There we go. Sorry, just missed that little spot. Let's go ahead and take off. I like to take off the masking tape slow. And the reason why is I've peeled so many shoes off, and the paints come with it because I was too anxious and trying to see what it looked like. So just for your guys' sake, man, when you take off tape, you don't want to fix a bunch of stuff afterwards. Take your tape off slow, yo. There's no rush. There we go. Now this one I know I didn't lock the sock liner as well as I could, but that's okay. We can still run through and fix that. I can show you guys how to fix that today. There we go. Sick. So that's clouds number 2 all done. Let me show you guys what the result looks like there. How's that look, guys? I would love to hear your guys' feedback there. It's Recon, that's the whole point of the shadowing, dude. You need to have some kind of shadowing in order to give it more of like a 3D kind of a vibe. And so you know, that and just going back and forth and mixing, you know, so how do we start? We started with doing it all white. Then we added some light blue and just kind of made them in splotchy little sections, right? To add the sky and decipher the clouds. Then the third step, what we did was added the shadowing with the mist, right? Added that mist. And then fourth step, we went back and we added white because we want to get some of these clouds to look a little bit brighter than they were. And then finally, we ended up with the blue. We used that, I believe it was a pale blue I used here. Let me see. Yeah, pale blue. Perfect. And we got that pale blue down to give us this final look. The reason I like to use that pale blue at the end is because now if you look at the clouds, you can see, for example, the whites. See? You can see the lining of the whites. You can see the clouds are a lot more defined, and they're defined, but they're not defined as in like they've got hard lines showing where they're at. They're defined meaning that we've added enough blue around the sections of the clouds to give the clouds their own style and their own shape. So yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool tutorial. Hopefully you guys benefited from it. You know, you can again do this without an airbrush, which I know a lot of y'all don't have airbrushes, so I totally understand your concern. Like, yo, it might be a great tutorial, but if I can't use an airbrush because I don't own it, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. If you look on the left here, I haven't used any blue on any of those sections, so you can see the difference. This looks like a cloudy day. This looks like more of a brighter day. Moises said, why does it remind you of the Simpsons clouds? Because you're a big Simpsons fan, bro. It does kind of look like the Simpsons clouds, so. So now that I know that this one looks done, and I shouldn't have unplugged this one. I still need to add a little bit of blue, so I'm hoping that I won't mess up the rest of this as I do this, but we've got to be real close and focused here. Gotta be careful not to hit that sock liner here now. And that's not always easy. All right, y'all. I think that that's a good look. I think at how to make clouds, guys. I think that this tutorial was pretty much done yesterday, but I had to at least put in the effort to make sure that you guys see the final result there. You know what I mean? So if you guys like the end results, man, please give me a comment. Let me know how I did on this. If you guys have any questions on it, obviously I'm here to answer questions for you guys as well. But yeah, this is a good finished look at how I would leave some clouds for you guys. And yeah, I think we did an okay job on this one, guys. I've got a little bit of refining to do on this one here, but we'll make that work offline. I think you guys got the gist of how to do this today. So time, guys, is 8:17. A little bit quicker of a tutorial today because I got to go eat. But if you guys enjoyed the tutorial, please let me know. If you guys have any tutorials in mind, like, I want to learn how to do, somebody the other day said lightning bolts. I think that's a great tutorial. That's definitely something that I could put on the list. What else? People want to learn how to make fire. Fire is a little bit more difficult, but I could definitely do that as well. Just the elements in general are really fun to work with. The other thing I wanted to start doing is maybe doing some more portrait work. So you can see the young lady here. She was based off of a picture that I had, and so I had opportunity to make her there. If you guys haven't had a chance, please check out my Instagram today. I did a pair for Rob McElhenney from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and now he's got a new show called Mythic Quest that just came out. Shout out my homegirl Kiana. Key, thank you so much for believing in me on making those customs, man. But yeah, long story short, it was basically all of Rob's accomplishments that he's done, and which are a lot. And it was just really a nice way to put some fire red forests together in a custom fashion without making them look over the top. They look very sporty, in my opinion, almost like an Italian tour car. That was kind of the vibe that we were going with on that one. So custom back tabs, custom tongue tags, and just all of his work is somehow, some way we got it incorporated into those pairs of shoes. And he just shouted me out today, which was, man, it's amazing. Dude's got a ton of followers, so it's great to see that he was happy with the customs. Let me just check real quick and see if we've got any questions. I know Moises said that they look like Simpsons clouds. Appreciate the tutorial. Learned something once again. Yes, let's get it, man. I'm glad you learned something new today, Recon J. Fees G, thank you so much. I'm definitely going to try to be safe, man. I want to learn texture stencils. Yo, Fees G, if you can just elaborate on texture stencils. Did you mean how to use stencils to give a textured effect or a look? Let me know. I'll definitely look into that and see if there's enough hype on that. We can definitely do that as well. A fire tutorial would be nice. Okay, dope, man. I gotta just we gotta find somebody who wants a fire tutorial or wants some fire on their shoes. But yeah, I'm definitely down to do some fire on some kicks as well. Anybody else who has suggestions, man, I'm super open-minded. To do pretty much anything that you guys want to do. I just got to get the base shoes, or I got to get somebody willing to do that custom in order for me to get that done. You know what I mean? Time now is 8:20, guys. I'll give you all a quick minute. Okay, Fees G said how to make them. Are you talking about not the stencils on just regular vinyl paper, Fees G? I think you're talking about the other paper, which is what is that paper called? It's not Mylar, but it's almost like a plastic board feel, and then you can have the stencils cut out from there. I think that's what you're talking about. Let me know. Oh, dang. Okay, cool. But yes, like a volcano texture. Yeah, for sure. Water or cracking. All really cool interpretations. Yeah, definitely, man. Those are great suggestions, Fiji. Definitely will keep those in mind. Anybody else have any recommendations or any feedback, suggestions? Let me know. We're here for another minute or so, and then I gotta go grub. Gotta go eat. Let me show you what I have. Are you looking for the material, Fiji? Because if you're looking for the material, I have the material, and then I could just sell you the material. I mean, whatever I got it for, I could just sell it to you, and I could send it your way. So just let me know if that works for you. I think you're a Patreon family as well, right? And if you are, just hit me up on Patreon. Usually I don't, do this for just anybody, but if you're a Patreon, hit me up on the Patreon channel. I figured you were, bro. So first of all, thank you so much for being part of the Patreon family. And yeah, if you need some of that material, bro, I got you, man. Just hit me up and we'll make it work. But you just need a standard cutter. Cricut cutter will work. Cameo silhouette will work. I know there's some other cutters on the market. I think those are the two most popular ones. And man, I'll tell you one thing: if you get this stencil material and you can actually cut the stencils out, it's a real time saver for a lot of different things. Like, I think I have one somewhere around here. It's like a digital print, and I mean, you could just use it. Oh, you got the maker? Yeah, the maker will definitely work. The digital print, it's just so much easier to have a digital print plastic version of it rather than peeling all these small little vinyl pieces out, putting them on the shoe, and it's like a one-time use. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I got you, man. Let me know if you need help with that. Just hit me up on the Patreon channel, bro, and I got you. We are going to be having some giveaways very soon, guys. I just got back from San Francisco, so like, I'm a little, everything's all over the place. Even, I don't know what happened with the cameras and the angles and everything. So when I get a chance, we're going to first fix everything. We got to make sure that you guys have the best experience when it comes to actually seeing the artwork being made. But then after that, we are going to give some stuff away. Liquid Cakes is going to be giving us some stuff. Princeton Brushes is on board to give me some things to give out to you guys as well. And I got some sunglasses from Gooder. The folks at Gooder gave me some sunglasses for the spring and summertime. So I think it's perfect. We're going to be out of, thank God, we're going to be out of this quarantine weather, man, and we can actually enjoy, you know what I mean? So it was an earthquake. All right, y'all. Well, I'm out of here, man. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Don't forget, whoa, way too far out. It's right there. Feel Good Threads is the social media on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, you name it, you got it. Patreon. If you guys have questions, I'm always available and free. My DMs are super backed up, so if I don't get back to you right away, don't get mad, Joe. I'm trying my best. It's just me, So with that said, guys, my name is Suhail with Feel Good Threads, and I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.